really, I think what we want to talk about, we're all industrial and systems engineers, so we want to talk about the practical, emerging, evolving applications of AI and supply chain management, manufacturing systems, engineering, healthcare and life sciences, retail, operations research, human factors systems engineering, management systems engineering, and so forth. So we're really focused on sort of a subdomain of AI. I mean, AI is huge. We'll talk about the breadth of the domain. We're really focused on the practical applications of making organizations more efficient, more effective, improve quality, improve productivity. So we've got this session today, what we call 101, and then 201 will be the 7th of September. And we're going to shift from what are the possibilities, what is AI, and what are the possibilities that AI represents for us, to what are the challenges, what are the threats, what are the failure modes, what are the risks, and so sort of risk management and risk mitigation conversations. And then we'll get into more how do you actually deploy AI in the organization. So Johnny and Jared and Matheus and Ben are doing that in their domains of work that they're in right now. And so we'll talk more about that. And then 401, we're going to find a best practice organization, somebody who's been doing this and really good at it. It might be one of the bright factories that we talk about, where they've really done sort of industry 4.0 and headed towards 5.0. I thought, when I thought about putting this together, it occurred to me that what's really happening is what I call sense making. A guy named Carl White wrote a book on sense making way back in the 70s and 80s. And you've got a very much an ever-changing world, and AI is you could see it as a disruptor. I guess it is a disruptor in some respects, but it's certainly messy, it's complex, there's a lot of interrelated components. And so, what I think we really want to do is talk about how do we learn together? How is we, as a community, and when I say community, I mean, well, we're a community, IISE is a community, but the internet's a community, because the internet it puts us in touch with people that have created powerful visualizations of concepts and abstractions that are just at our fingertip, and we can steal them, borrow them. Johnny and I were talking. I don't know how you acknowledge people, because in most of those visualizations, the name's not even there anymore. So you just use it and say, whoever's out there that did this, thank you very much, because it's really cool, So, but we're really trying to wayfind and navigate through dynamic changing technology and figure out how to make it useful to the organizations that we're currently serving. And I like this slide, sense making and performance. You go through a period where you've got a period of stability and organizations performing, and then you get this disruption, this technology, in this case, a technology disruption. And we go through this period where performance drops off. Now, when you say performance drops off, it doesn't necessarily mean that organizations are performing less well, but they're not performing to full potential. So it's really not that the performance is going down, it's that it could go up and it isn't. And so as a result, the fact that it could go up and it isn't is a performance gap that makes them less competitive over time. So figuring out how to take advantage of this new technology, these new opportunities, is crucial for an organization to be sustainably competitive. And again, as I said when I started, these slides are, those of you that have been through our operational analytics series of webinars are probably tired of seeing these things, but there's all these latencies that occur from, a business opportunity or a business event. And then you got this, okay, I got a business opportunity, but I got to have some information to know how to capitalize on it. So I've got to capture latency. I've got to get the right data latency. Then I got to analyze the data latency. Then I got a decision latency. Then I've got an implementation and action latency. And then I've got a latency for the lag between when I actually do something and when the benefit starts to get realized. So all those latencies, to me, when I think about AI is a major driver for reducing these latencies. And I know, Ben, that probably resonates with you, right? Yeah. So So I'm going to go through again. So what's your operational definition of AI? I'm going to ask people to talk about that, but I'm just going to throw some slides at you real quickly. I've already shared these with the panelists, but I'm sharing them with the audience. I'm not going to really speak to them, but if you want to see what MIT, Stanford, Harvard, Carnegie Mellon, well-known professors say, here's some stuff that they say about their definition of AI. And then the one down at the bottom, artificial intelligence, the use of science and engineering, software and hardware to create intelligent machines that can make and or act on decisions that usually require organic intelligence. So that was sort of the summative definition that this person did. I pulled this off for you. I'm not going to read it. I'm not even going to give you enough time to read it, but I gave you the link there. This is kind of cool, the Stanford artificial intelligence definition. So again, this is that sense making. We can go out at a fingertip. In 2 minutes, I found this. And so I'm part of a community of people that are wanting to learn and progress our understanding of AI and how to apply it and make it happen. I've become part of that community. And AI is, in a sense, making that possible for us today. I don't know whether, for somebody that started in engineering with a slide rule, I don't know that the young kids today can appreciate how much change has happened since 1970 at Ohio State and today. It's like mind-boggling. It's just incredible. So core areas of artificial intelligence, all I'm doing is I picked abstractions, I picked visualizations that I like, and I thank whoever did this because I appreciate being able to use it. So these are just examples, right? So, and by seeing core areas of AI application, we can better understand what it is. Core areas of another view of that, right? So I'm just showing you another view. And this is actually, you can see this slide is 100% editable. So this is one of those slides where you can go in and you don't even have to do the framework. You just go in and type the words you want, right? So that's pretty neat. So I'll stop now and ask the panel to jump in. The focus of this little discussion module is helping the audience better understand AI. From your perspective.
Yeah, Dr. Sink, I think AI is, like you said, morphing, but it's been around since the 1960s. But I think 3 elements are going to continue to change the definition, change the way we look at. That's the data. Of course, that's growing exponentially. I think it's the models. Back to your operation analytics. There are certain techniques that ISEs use that is being adopted by the AI community, from linear regression to logistical regression. And then, of course, the governance, the model itself, the process. When any of those 3 wheels change, the data, the model, or the process, it readapts itself. One of the benefits of AI is its ability to adapt to deal with the latency. So I thought you said that really well, and how you put AI in the framework of latencies and the benefits.
Yeah, good. Thanks, Ben. Anybody else have something you'd like to add, comment?
Jared, do you want to go? I saw you.
Yeah, I think we've all got opinions on it, certainly. I think just a simplest term is just computer systems designed to mimic, human intelligence in the context of, in our application, operational analytics, but there's a lot of other applications. I think it tends to be an umbrella term with machine learning and deep learning as subsets. And I think you've got some portrayals, Scott, that show some of that. So I think it is an umbrella term, but I don't know. I think part of today, it's kind of demystifying some of the language, because I think some of the language on this makes it seem a little more complex than it may ought to be. And trust me, there is lots that's quite complex and certainly well beyond me. But I think at the highest level, I see it as an umbrella term. And somebody had written, I think Trevor, on referencing neural networks and the importance of that in the context of machine learning and deep learning. But I think that's absolutely critical to understand as you start to dive a little bit down the rabbit hole on this. But
yeah, and Jared, yeah, that point you made is a good point, and that sort of segues into this next. So if you looked at AI and you started to peel the onion back, so to speak, on it, you start to get into an additional set of and domains of words, right? So you get into data science, you get into machine learning, deep learning. And so I think for someone to fully appreciate AI, you have to understand, and I got a bunch of pictures here that I think help do that. I think you have to understand, sort of the historical evolution of AI in the context of machine learning, and then when machine learning came in and deep learning came in. And so, Johnny, I know I interrupted you there, but I think that these slides sort of move us in the direction of further clarifying what AI really is, because it's like a Venn diagram where the circles are inside of one another, so to speak.
Yeah, to me, AI is a tool. You've got all these specific tools within here, right? That eventually enable you to get to a decision making much faster than ever possible.
Yep.
That's really what ultimately you're trying to do. And so AI as a field, and machine learning and deep learning in these concentric circles are basically different subsets of tools that are automated and ever evolving, as Ben wrote as well. And it ages like milk, not like wine. I like that. And so it's really enabling you to make decisions much faster and be able to be more effective at anything that you're trying to achieve.
Yeah,
And
and I think
I
this
know
slide,
that sounds very broad. Oh yeah, go ahead.
and I think this slide, Johnny, speaks to what you said. So, you can't really talk about AI and not talk about machine learning, deep learning, but you also can't talk about it and not talk about data analytics and data science. And so I think, this picture is useful. I think this is, I'm not even going to stop on this one, but this is, I had one of these slides. I had a slide like this for Integrate Lean Sigma. This is a slide for AI, which I think is sort of cool if you look at, it's the evolution of science and popular culture, so you got movies about the science, right? Movies about AI. So it's kind of